...2018 has been the bloodiest year in Indian-administered Kashmir in a decade. More than 500 people have been killed, including civilians, militants and security forces. While this has long been a region in turmoil, one of the most militarized areas in the world, what's caused the recent spike in violence? India and Pakistan have fought over the Himalayan region of Kashmir ever since they both became independent in 1947. They went to war over it 2 times, and as it stands now, they each control a part of the region. Some areas are also controlled by China. Here in Indian-administered Kashmir, the most deadly period was from the late 1980s through the 1990s. Resistance to Indian rule led to a rise in militancy and tens of thousands of people were killed. The violence subsided in the first decade of this century, but it's never fully gone away. And the anti-India sentiment among people here remains strong. This means every now and then the unrest spikes. This fresh wave of violence we're witnessing now has been escalating since 2016. That was when Burhan Wani, a 22-year-old militant leader, was shot dead by Indian armed forces. He was adored by many here, had a mass following, and his death led to anger and protests. Both sides, the security forces and the armed insurgents, have since become more active. This is an operation taking place just on the outskirts of the city of Srinagar. You can hear the fierce exchange of gunfire going on there. Indian armed forces are fighting what are believed to be 2, perhaps 3 militants who are hiding in there. This gun exchange has just intensified, but the operation has been going on all through the night for the past 12 hours. And it's these kind of operations that the armed forces have really ramped up this year. There have been more than 100 in just 2018 alone. 3 armed insurgents were killed. But the problem is, every time a militant dies, it serves to inspire more youth to take up arms. Like Firdaus Ahmad Mir, he became a militant in 2017. He was killed just a year later in November 2018. This is Firdaus's funeral. Tens of thousands of people turn up to pay last respects to insurgents who've been killed. The militant outfits have also become more violent. 2018 has seen a sharp increase in targeted killings of policemen, of army men, but also of civilians who the insurgents believe give information about them to security forces. We're on our way now to a district in southern Kashmir which is known to be a hotbed of militancy, where an army man was shot in his home in front of his family. Mukhtar Ahmad Malik was killed by militants when he was at home on leave.
Kashmir te aav tang setha aav na lihada jus yemne şu behtar bambari.
The bang you just heard there was a stone that was hurled at this door behind me. Out there is a group of protesters who've been pelting stones for the past hour or so. Security forces here as well as outside trying to contain them. This is a very regular sight in Kashmir. Protests like these happen on a weekly basis, and sometimes when things are more deadly, they happen even more often. a very visible sign of the anti-India sentiment in this region. Civilians are often killed in the crossfire, in protests and also in operations conducted by the security services and the militants. The numbers are stacking up and many are questioning the tactics of both sides.
We have made the area safe. We have made the area safe for the local populace. We cannot sit and keep on watching militants with weapons, roaming in villages, threatening people and gaining ground. No, we cannot. We just cannot afford to watch that. We have to act.
It's hard to predict what 2019 will bring. Will there be a pause in the violence or increased bloodshed? The only thing one can say with certainty is that it's never too long before the next killing takes place here.